Welcome back to the podcast, you beautiful soul. Thank you for joining me today. As always, guys, this podcast is brought to you by Shine Energy Drink. It is the best energy drink on the planet. It is so good. I feel amazing. I have them literally every day. It keeps me focused, keeps me energized, and keeps me inspired. So, with that out of the way, we are going into relationships today and why your relationship triggers you so much and why it is the greatest gift you will ever receive. So we're going to be going deep into that. Before I do, if I can ask a massive favor, if you could like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. The bigger the audience that I build, the bigger the guests I can bring onto the show, because that's obviously what they're looking for. So your love and your appreciation and your support does go a long way, so I can connect with more people with bigger brands as well, who can come on and we can have amazing guests and add so much value to you guys. So if you could like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, comment as well, and share it with a friend, that would be amazing. Let's get into it, guys. So I talk about this topic a lot. And someone actually asked me this question of like, are you a relationship coach? And I don't call myself that. That's definitely not the main focus I do. However, I do make a lot of content about relationships. And why is that? It's a good question. And this is my answer. An intimate relationship is going to magnify the work you have not done on yourself. Because whenever you're triggered, remember this, when you're triggered, it's revealing something you haven't healed through or worked through yet. So I use the quote a lot: whatever triggers you the most will heal you the most. Your greatest triggers in life are your greatest gifts in life. And where that happens the most is an intimate relationship. I generally work with high achievers who want to reach their full potential. They want to grow more. They want to achieve more with their business, with their relationship, with their career. And the work that I do is just magnified a lot in a relationship. And most people, well, everyone who's been in an intimate relationship knows exactly what I'm talking about. People, your partner's going to press your buttons. They're going to trigger you. They're going to piss you off. They're going to, shine awareness on the wounds that you haven't worked through. And that's why people have a lot of challenges with relationships. So I'm just going to be going through a couple steps for you to be aware of so you can improve this area of your life, so you can build deeper, more intimate relationships, but you can also grow and become a better version of you for your relationship, but also every other area of your life. A rising tide raises all boats. So if you're more healed and more present, you're less reactive, you're going to be better with your business. You're going to be better in your career. You're going to be better with your family. You're going to be better with your kids. You're obviously going to be better with your relationship. So this is why I'm so passionate about self-development, personal development, because it's the shit that really moves the needle the most. In success in anything in life is 80% psychology, 20% skills. The mindset is the biggest component. The skills are easy. How to be healthy is quite simple, right? Go to the gym, eat some good food, don't eat McDonald's, drink some water, get some good sleep. It's not that complicated, but it's the mindset to actually do it. And that's why I love relationships the most, because it's kind of like an incubator of where it really just magnifies those parts of you that you haven't worked on, so you can work on them, so you get to heal and grow and become the fullest expressed version of you more than anywhere else. I've posted this quote a couple of times that you will do the most amount of spiritual and personal growth inside a relationship, more than a mentor, more than a mastermind, more than a course or a program or a book or a spiritual journey. You will do more growth and healing and integrating inside an intimate relationship. Why? Why is that? It's because they see more sides to you than anyone else. Like for people that have never met me, you've only seen me through my social medias. Firstly, thank you for supporting me, but you haven't seen all the sides to me. I try to be as authentic as I can, and I share my emotions and I share my problems and challenges that I'm still working through online, but you don't see the sides that my partner gets to see. When I haven't had enough sleep, when I'm stressed, when I've got to clean up the dog piss, where the laundry breaks down, when the power cuts out, when I'm really overwhelmed, when I'm really anxious, when I'm being silly, when I'm being playful, when my inner child's coming out to play. You don't see those sides that my partner gets to see. But just by context of what I've just said, because they see more sides to you, they're going to see more wounds that you have more than anyone else. So they're going to naturally shine a light on those wounds, therefore triggering you, but the trigger gives you the awareness of where the wound is. Just to use an example or analogy that I use quite frequently, if I had a cut on my arm, and for people that aren't watching the video right now of this podcast, I'm pointing at my arm. If I had a cut right here on my arm, if I was to touch it, it's going to shock me, it's going to trigger me. Those cuts are the emotional trauma, wounds, I call them unbalanced perceptions, that we all have. Now, when most people think of trauma, they think of the bigger traumas. They think of like rape or abandonment or assault or war or extreme illness or extreme abuse. But trauma is also, as children, not feeling seen, not feeling loved, not feeling valued, not being given what it is that you needed back then, being the second favorite child, being not good enough to receive your parents' love, not being heartbroken, being cheated on. These can all be traumatic for younger versions of ourselves. This is not a topic on trauma itself. A podcast specifically on that. I've done podcasts on that, but I'm just talking specifically in a relationship. So again, when you get triggered, it's revealing the wound. Beautiful. Then you get the opportunity and the gift of awareness so you can actually go heal through it. Because how do you heal something if you don't have the awareness of where it is, right? So this is why, again, I love relationships, because they gift you with all these beautiful pieces of awareness and consciousness so you can go heal through it. So let's get a bit practical. So I've kind of gone through a couple of steps already. Number one, triggers are gifts. They're revealing things you haven't healed through. So it's giving you the awareness so you can go heal through it. Your partner is going to reveal more than anyone else just because they see more sides to you. They see when you're stressed, when you haven't had enough sleep, when you're overwhelmed, when you haven't eaten enough, when financial pressure is coming into it. They see more sides to you than anyone else. So be aware of that. They're magnifying the work you haven't done, which gives you the ability to work on it so you can grow and improve in all areas of life. Now, how do we do something about it? What a great question. Now, what do I do? Thank you for all this information, Lewis, but what the fuck do I do? My partner keeps pissing me off that he or she keeps pushing my buttons. They keep setting me off and it's not getting better. What do I do? This is my belief anyways. I believe that you need to be at a level where you're aware of what I'm talking about right now and you are prepared and conscious to work through whatever comes up. Because let's picture this. You trigger your partner, they trigger you, you have an argument, you get into your wounds, your wounded inner child's come out and you just have a huge argument. You say things that that are quite mean and hurtful to your partner. And that happens. Welcome to relationships, right? That's just what happens. What happened then is someone got triggered, or you both got triggered. You both were triggering a wound that hadn't been healed through. If you do not then go work through that wound and go heal through what was brought to the surface, then it's going to come up again and you're going to repeat it and you're going to keep triggering the same wound and setting off the same argument, but it's not the same. It gets worse because the negative energy from the first one compounds to the second, then to the third, then to the fourth, and you just keep stacking this resentment, this frustration, this anger, whatever emotions are coming up for you until you get to a point where it's so much it like explodes and you have this huge breakout, you have this huge breakup, you have this huge argument or whatever happens. But what if you actually healed through the wound the first time it came up? What if you got triggered and you're like, holy shit, I've just been triggered right now. There's something here. Oh my God, I know how to do the work because I've done the work. Then you go heal through it. Then you don't get triggered from that anymore. That for me is what my invitation to the world is to do and what my invitation to you is to start doing. So these are my practical steps of what to do when you do get triggered in a relationship. Firstly, you got to be aware of how to do the work. You need to, and don't need to, if you want to work through this, then you do need to. You need to know how to do the work. That comes down to doing books, courses, mentorships, therapists, psychologists, coaches, healers. That's work that I do. Now, I'm not the perfect fit for everyone. I work with people and I help people do this step by step. I'm a very step-by-step integrator. I find something I've noticed with all the clients I've been working with lately is a lot of people read the books, do the podcast, do the seminars, do the courses, but they don't actually integrate the work into their life. So that's something that I'm very, very passionate about and I do very, very well. But you need to be aware of how to do the work. How do you heal? And I'll get back to that in a second. Secondly, you need to be able to regulate your emotions as best that you can when you're in the wound. When you get triggered and you're pushing each other's buttons and you're in the wound, you need to be able to do your best to regulate, to try diminish or minimize the damage that you do when you're in your wounds, because we've all been there. We've all regressed. We've all been triggered. We've all said things that we didn't mean when we were in our wounds, right? So you want to minimize that, because sometimes we can say things that do more damage than there was before, and you actually create more things to heal through. So you want to do your best to minimize the damage while you're in the chaos of the storm, while you're in the wounds, while you're in the trauma, okay? So try regulate as best that you can. My way of doing it, I do box breathing. So breathe in for 5, hold for 5, let out for 5. So I breathe in through my nose. I aim for the bottom parts of my stomach or diaphragm. Then I hold it for 5, let it out for 5. You get the point. So I do that. That helps me significantly. I do grounding. So I try to just stay present. If I can stand on some grass, I try to stand on grass. Obviously not always practical, but I try to be as grounded and present as I can so I can minimize the damage that happens during the moment. Then once the dust settles, this is the most important part for me, because at the end of the day, guys, you're going to trigger each other and you're probably going to say things that you don't necessarily mean. That's cool. Welcome to relationships. You want to get better at that and better at that and better at that. You will be better at that by obviously doing this. It becomes a muscle. You get really, really good at it. Me and my partner are at a space where when we do get triggered now, we can handle it so much better. Instead of it turning into an argument for minutes or hours or days or weeks, like it takes a couple of minutes now where we kind of hit the peak, the climax of the conversation, and it comes down and we hold space. We are present with each other. We make each other feel seen, heard, and loved, and we process through that pretty quickly. But this is the most important part. I'm going to give you a live example in this one. Once the dust settles, once the trigger and the event, the argument has finished, make sure you go and heal through whatever came to the surface. Because if you don't, like I mentioned earlier in this podcast, it's going to get triggered again and again and again, and it builds and compounds and stacks, and it just builds up all of this negative energy until it just has this huge implode and explosion where you leave your partner, you cheat on your partner, you just ruin the relationship. So for me, the most crucial part of what I'm talking about is once you're triggered, which is normal, do the best you can to navigate those emotions when it comes up. It's not always easy, but it's always possible. Regulate your emotions as best that you can. Once the dust settles, you need to be aware enough, conscious enough, and have enough level of accountability and responsibility for yourself to then go do the work. I'm going to give you a practical example. Me and my partner, we debrief these. So we had one probably about a month ago, was the most recent one I can think of. I won't go into the details. I actually shared this on an episode, my most recent episode with me and my partner. I don't know what episode it is. I think it's 212, give or take. And we actually shared this example, but I won't go through that just for time. We got triggered. We had the disagreement. We pushed each other's buttons. We settled it down. And then I asked my partner this. I said, baby, obviously we were triggered today. We got triggered this afternoon. It happens. And I think we handled it really well. I'm really proud of us for being able to handle it the way that we did. My question to you, because it was her wound that came to the surface in this instant. Mine comes up in other ones, but this is the one I'm referring to. I just asked her, I said, baby, what is your way of healing? I have my way. I obviously do this as a career. I do this as a job. I do this with my clients, but you don't have to work with me. There's tons of ways you can heal. Do you get a therapist? Do you journal? Do you meditate? Do you do plant medicine? Do you have an energy healer? Like, what do you do to heal through your stuff? And then supporting and holding each other accountable to do the work. That for me is, you get that right, you will have the most beautiful, intimate, conscious, embodied relationship that you've ever dreamt of, where both parties are aware that you're going to trigger each other in a healthy way. That's cool. You both are able to hold space the best that you can, and you become better at it the more that you do it. And you both then are aware enough and conscious enough to be able to heal and work through whatever came to the surface, because your relationship is just magnifying the work that you haven't done. And once you've healed through that, guess what? everything gets better. You're a better leader for your company and your team. You're better with your business. You're better with your career. You're better for your family. You're better with your kids. You're obviously better in your relationship. Everything gets better because a rising tide raises all boats. That is why I love relationships. That's why I love getting triggered, because it allows me to have awareness of things that I hadn't healed through yet, so I can then go and heal through it so I don't get triggered by that same thing anymore, and I'm a better leader. I'm a better man, I'm a better human being, and I fucking love relationships for this reason. I hope you got value from this, guys. If you can, do me a favor, comment down below, leave your thoughts, give me a like, give me a subscribe, share this with a friend, share this with someone that you think will get value from this. If you want to heal, if you want to work on you, you want to grow personally, professionally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and you want to have a life that you truly love, and you're looking for a mentor or a coach to help you do the work, that's what I do. I only work with people that I'm the right fit for, that we're aligned with each other, and you're ready and willing to do the work, because you can drag a horse to water, you can't make it drink. If that sounds like you, go to the link in the caption below, or go to my Instagram profile. Go to the link. There's a link for a free strategy call. It's with me personally. It's not with my team. It's with me personally. And I can help you do this. I can teach you how to heal. I have a system and a process to heal through anything. It's really powerful. And how to set boundaries, improve self-worth, be authentic, have clarity for your purpose, how to regulate your emotions, how to overcome judgment, ego, anxiety, depression, how to make money doing what you love. That's all I do. I do so many cool things. If that sounds like you, you're aligned with me, you like my energy, click on the link, book in for a strategy call. Only do it if you're ready to do the work. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. Share this with a friend. I love you guys. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.